My name is Kekelwa Inyambo Yeta. I'm from Zambia. I work at Levi Mwanawasa University Teaching Hospital as a biomedical scientist. I came to India to study clinical embryology through Merck Foundation. And this program came through the Ministry of Health. That's in my country, in Zambia. And I was, two people were requested from my institution. We were requested to submit our CVs and were asked a few questions as to whether we're interested in studying clinical embryology, etc. So yes, I submitted my CV and fortunately enough, I was selected and I was sent here for 3 months here in India. So with regards to fertility centers in my country, unfortunately, we only have 2 that I'm aware of, and they are private owned. So we don't really have much access to them, I personally, so to say. Yes, I don't really know about the statistics, but there are quite a number of people, or rather couples, that are infertile. Some of them I've seen. Like I mentioned earlier, I work in a hospital. So I've seen such couples that would come because of the infertility issues. So in Zambia, or rather most parts of my country, that is Zambia, infertility is considered, you could say, a taboo, so to say. And most couples that are infertile actually tend to keep the information to themselves because of fear of psychosocial consequences such as stigmatization and a lot of other things. And most people believe if they're infertile or they fail to conceive, it's because they have been bewitched or yes, in those lines. And most people actually seek treatment from traditional healers, etc. And for fertility centers that are there, like I mentioned earlier, they are private owned. So it's very difficult for most people to actually access the treatment from there, mostly because of money issues. It tends to be quite expensive. Most people cannot afford. And secondly, due to stigmatization, like I mentioned, most people have fear of, they don't want the world to know or anybody else to say they have infertility issues, so they tend to keep to themselves, and most people actually go to church or believe in faith, pray, and all those. But with access to infertility, to fertility centers, it's a bit of a challenge for most people in my country, because most of them are private owned, and as at now, the government does not have any fertility centers. So this training is important to me. I must say it is new. It's a new thing for me. Of course, I had heard of infertility programs or IVF of such, but mostly on social media or I read somewhere. But now that I'm actually here and I've attended this program, I've learned quite a lot. I've gained more knowledge. So it's important because I intend to actually start an IVF center when I go back to my country. And it's not only important to me, but even to the most couples that are infertile out there. At least it has brought out, maybe even the perception for me has actually changed, to say there's a lot more to infertility than what we believed earlier. To say it can only cause by maybe someone has been bewitched or a lot of other things. But now it has opened my mind. This training has opened my mind, and I'm well aware of the most causes of infertility. So the level of awareness in my country, well, what can I say? Like I mentioned earlier, I say that infertility is considered to be some sort of a taboo. So most people don't really come out. They don't talk about it. It's a problem that they would rather keep to themselves, because being infertile, first of all, women that are unable to bear children are looked at as like for social status. Of course, that is just with families. Yeah, it's more of a taboo. And the other problem is that it also causes problems in the couples. It leads to abuse and also divorce. And not only that, sometimes people tend to also cheat. I'm confident enough. I must say I have acquired the knowledge, the information, and the practical skill that I need to work as an independent embryologist back in my country. Of course, with time, we'll probably have to train other people, because once there's a center has been set up, I'm sure even the workload will be quite too much for one person to handle. But so far, I'm confident, and I know that I can even train someone. I have learned a lot regarding the training of clinical embryology. So far, we have, well, in general, the program is about assisted reproductive technologies. And under that, we looked at quite a number of procedures, such as in vitro fertilization. We also looked at intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Then we also looked at intrauterine injections. So other than that, those are the procedures that we did actually hands-on that I've learned so far. When I go back to my country, obviously the reason we're sent here in the first place was with a view to starting up our own IVF centers, probably government-owned. So there are quite a lot of things that are involved when one needs to set up an IVF centers, or rather an IVF center. So the most important thing that I would advise the government or the Ministry of Health, if they want to set up an IVF center, will be the first thing that they need to look at will be location. That's the most important thing. I would like to thank Manipal Academy of Higher Education, the Merck Foundation, and the Ministry of Health of Zambia for this opportunity that was granted to me. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Zambia.